So this was supposed to be a video on me taking the car to get an exhaust made and then get it tuned. But I ended up finding small puddles of coolant under the car, and it turns out it's leaking from the timing case. I'll show you. It looks like, this is my old one, it looks like it's coming from right here, which means there's only really 2 or 3 places it could be coming from. It could be coming from here, this gasket that goes between here and the block. It could be coming from here. If you remember, I had to build this gasket up with RTV, so this port could be leaking through here, filling up this whole chamber, and then leaking out the side here. Or it could be my head gasket leaking out the front, and then filling up this chamber, and then coming out there. So, I got the timing case off without taking off the oil pan, without taking off the head. There it is. So what I think is happening is I have really bad corrosion up around here, and I think that's because I was in a rush to get this timing case on, and because I just trusted that it came from a running car, I didn't look over the mating surface as well as I should have. So, I'm gonna clean it all up. I'm probably gonna have to order a new gasket, and then I'll throw it back in. Alright, so I think I found what the problem is. So this is my gasket, and you can see, this is not a macro lens. You can see a circle where it makes its seal, where the gasket kind of got crimped against the block. You can see it around every seal it makes. Except, right there. Right there it's not making a seal. There's no sign of a seal being made. It feels flat. So I think that's where my water was coming from. You can see the rust that got on the block and transferred onto the gasket. So another update, I picked up some Zender side skirts and painted them. They look a lot better than having nothing there. And I didn't really document because sanding and painting is not exciting. Okay, a new gasket came, and you can see it's got this boss around it, and that's the old one. So that's what's supposed to be making our seal. So I'm going to install it, and we'll see if it leaks. Fluids are topped off. Nothing's leaking yet. I really believe I got my timing right. So, let's start it up and hope nothing breaks. She runs. Let's see if she leaks. God damn. So it's still leaking. The last place it can leak from is this, which would make sense because I'm hovering the head a lot higher above this than I should be and filling that big gap with RTV, which is not what it's meant for. So I'm gonna pull the head off, maybe change out the head gasket. I bought a goat's one per the Metric Mechanics suggestion. I'll throw that on, put it all back together, and then send it. So since I'm using head studs, the head can't come straight off because this chain guide doesn't move. So my whole front timing case cover, my main bolt, and everything has to come back apart. Finding one thing after another, but I think I found the actual source of my problems. So a little divot there. Matches that one there. And luckily I recorded everything I do in 4K. And if you look at this screenshot, you'll see that I'm standing on the other side of the block. Everything to me looks clean. I wiped everything down, but there's this tiny little shaving. I have no idea where it came from or what it's from, hiding behind this one stud facing the camera. So, I have a very strong feeling that coolant is leaking from here and just pouring out the front. And I had a slight misfire, and I would not be surprised if that was also the cause of it. So I thought about reusing the gasket, the Cometic one, and I'm just going to take the advice from the Metric Mechanic and use the Goitz one. He suggested I use Krylon aluminum silver paint. I checked everywhere near me and I couldn't find it. There's a couple places online, but shipping's way far out, so I'm going to use Permatex copper gasket sealer and put a couple coats of that on. So I'm not really filming reassembly just because I want to get this done and over with, but here you can see how squished this head gasket, or this profile gasket gets. And I wasn't doing that at all, so I assume that's where it was leaking from. It would still make sense if that was the case, but with a stock head gasket, it's fine.